Hello and welcome to the Global Home Improvement Network and to this my 12th interview in the series Meet the CEOs of the leading home improvement companies from around the world. My name is John Herbert and I'm the General Secretary of EDRA, the European DIY Retail Association, and of GIN, the Global Home Improvement Network. Together, these two associations have 217 members, operating in 75 countries with over 33,000 stores. And our members' sales are now in excess of 330 billion euro. And with effect from the 1st of October, the International Hardware Association also joined our network from the home associations from all over the world. So really, EDRA-GIN really does now represent the total global home improvement industry. I would now like to welcome all our members, wherever you may be, and also the members of our partner association, HEMA, the Home Improvement Manufacturers Association, who also have global members. Also like to welcome the sponsors and the delegates who've already registered for the Global DIY Summit to be held in Copenhagen next year from the 8th to the 10th of June. So, and now I am delighted to introduce my next guest. He is the 12th interview partner that I have. He's from Russia, he's very Russian. Here he is, Evgeny Movchan. Evgeny, we're looking forward to see you.
Good afternoon and cordial greetings to everyone. So just a few words to introduce myself. I was born in the beautiful city of St. Petersburg. I graduated from Polytechnical Institute, Physics and Mechanics department, and I'm in DIY industry since 1999. I started in the Russian DIY hypermarket chain, and then I've been to Castorama and Dobby as a commercial director, and then I'm with Petrovich. Almost 8 years. I'm the CEO of the company. A few words about Petrovich. It was founded in 1995, and it started with just with several building materials and basically bulky materials as cement, and then developed step by step. It now became the company number 2 in Russia with 7,000 employees, 20 stores, 2 distribution centers, with retail operations, which are 60% of our turnover, and B2B operations with construction companies, the other part. And our turnover just this year will exceed. So I will reach to my personal goals. We will exceed 1 billion euro. And we'll reach as a group 100 billion rubles, I guess, if everything goes well at the end of the year.
And Evgeny, you are the CEO, for me, for one of the most dynamic building materials companies that I've ever seen. And I know we're all very much looking forward to hearing about your concept. But first of all, where are you? You're not in Moscow, you're not in St. Petersburg. Tell us where you are today.
Yeah, I'm in the city of Petrozavodsk. We have this store here. It's quite a small store, but it's one of the, I think, the most northern cities where John has taken interviews. We have filial here, and so this sign says that this store won the competition as the best store among our regional stores, not St. Pete, not Moscow, because besides Moscow and St. Pete, we We are represented in six cities of Russia.
Well, congratulations. So let us just first of all talk about Russia, though. What is the Russian economy like at the moment? We read at the moment that you're having a few problems, but how do you see the Russian economy?
Actually, Russian economy has a pretty quick recovery from pandemic. Actually, it is ahead of any forecast. It's around 4 to 5% GDP growth this year. Wow. But unfortunately, our central bank policy last years forces to doubt if they persuade national interest, because they increased several times the interest rate due to inflation threats. But actually, we understand that all this inflation, it is imported, as we call it. It's imported inflation from the global markets. And frankly speaking, the business society is astonished a lot because the interest rate increased from 4% up to 7.5, and probably it's not the end. And it puts the further industrial developments under certain threat.
So you really are paying high interest rates at the moment, yeah?
Yeah, it's quite. So it's almost doubled, yeah, almost
really
doubled. Mm-hmm.
So what is the employment rate then in Russia? Can you get people very easily? Is there a high unemployment, or are you full employment?
We have the opposite, John. We have the opposite problem. We have the lack of labor resources due to the. I think that there are problems with migrant flows. And actually, we faced very strong deficit of the linear specialists, warehouse workers, sales forces in the stores. So actually, our people have just extreme workload at the moment, because we have vacancies, free vacancies, unfortunately, at the moment.
That's amazing that you're a shortage of people as well.
Sure.
Yeah, you've been dependent on immigrants. I know you've had a lot of immigrants from the Asian part of Russia. Is that correct? And
exactly,
they're not coming anymore?
Basically from Asian part of the former Soviet Union. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I see. And this is creating a difficulty in getting people.
Yeah. Absolutely, in the many industries, in retail, in all kinds of retail, in restaurants, in construction. In construction, it's also very huge problems with shortage of people, labor force.
Really. Yeah, Evgeny, this problem is the same in the United Kingdom. It's the same in Germany, that people are very scarce, and in England there's such a shortage of drivers they can't deliver to the stores at the moment. So it's in a very difficult situation. So just coming back, what is the inflation rate then at the moment in Russia?
Inflation rate is official figure is around 7%. As I said, it is completely imported due to price increase in the foreign markets, and due to the transportation cost. As you know, these containers from China increased six times, and of course the all imported goods increased a lot, and all our export-oriented industries, of course, also increased their domestic prices as well.
Yeah. Okay, I'd like to come back to you on that in a moment. But first of all, we've always started with this pandemic, this wretched pandemic that doesn't seem to be going away, and it seems to be skying up everywhere in the world again at the moment. What is the situation in Russia?
John, to tell the truth, the situation is I would say bad or very bad at the moment, because actually this week, different regions of Russia have already started or will start the lockdown, as it was in the first 3 months last year. So it will be the total lockdown for at least 10-14 days, and afterwards we will see, because we beat all records for the new ill people, and also unfortunately the death records also at the moment, all of them are beaten. It's a real disaster, especially taking into account that the vaccine was in free access since has been free access since, I would say, since January, but unfortunately there is quite a strong campaign against it. Medieval arguments are used, and as a result we have a lockdown at the moment. We have a strong strike for the economy, and unfortunately I've just even no words to describe the situation. Yeah, and the stores, the non-food industry, again, the stores will be closed. The sales floors will be closed,
including your stores as well. Are your
yeah, I think so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
In this pandemic period, you've already had to close your stores then, have you?
Yes, yeah. Last year for 3 months, we closed our sales floors, but we work as click and collect. And collect service, and also deliveries, and also we made delivery service.
Okay. So, Evgeny, what has your sales been like then during the pandemic?
Actually pandemic was quite beneficial for our company, because we chose omni-channel model. I think 7-8 years ago, and it proved to be the right model, and that's why we were ready to this situation, to provide distance sales via internet and call center, because we also have selling call center, and we have quite strong delivery service, the service of last mile. And that's why our sales in April and May last year, our retail operations increased drastically. Our B2B suffered because construction sites were closed, but retail it was like a rocket.
Really?
It was, yeah, absolutely. It was very difficult for us, of course, because we have the lack of employees at that time, especially call center, where the several times the number of calls increased several times, and to hire new people and to train them, it took 1 month actually, and that's why our B2B specialists helped a lot in this very difficult time. And also the stores, because our stores are not only the place where we meet our customers, but they also have logistic infrastructure to dispatch these last mile deliveries. So the stores, especially in Moscow, they also faced huge increase of sales. And our people from sales role worked in the warehouse, as well as central office people, including myself several times, also worked in the warehouse, collecting orders. But actually, it was a great time for me just to see the united team, where everyone was ready to give its back to give support. Very flexible team, very friendly team. So I was really happy and very pleased to see it.
Yeah, but Evgeny, how well prepared you were. I mean, nearly all the home center companies that I know and many of the building materials, they were all caught with this pandemic and they all started hurrying, but you were already there. So what was your percentage of your sales online or through the, through the web before the pandemic and during the pandemic? And where do you see it going now?
Yeah, so before it was like 40% plus, and during pandemic it was 50%, and now it is around 60%. 60% of our retail operations. So pandemic gave us, of course, a unique chance, because a lot of people even probably do not know about our company. And because we saw actually a lot of new clients even in St. Petersburg, where we have been for kind of 25 years. There were new clients here in Petrozavodsk. I know that also we started here in 2012. There were a lot of new clients, and they knew Petrovich. They tasted our service, because the pandemic made a quick, let's say, it was a kind of big jump towards the from let's say old-fashioned offline sales to online sales. I think that this jump was around 3-5 years at least in the development of online sales, and people tried it, they tasted our service, they like it, and they stayed with us. So
yeah.
We measure, and the retention, that's kind of retention rate of the clients, it was absolutely the same as in the previous years. So it was not the clients who came and then left after this lockdown was over. So they stayed with us.
Okay, nearly all the companies made huge increases with their online sales. But I don't know if we've understood each other. What percentage of your total sales there are done through the computer? You did say 40%, but was that right, or was that the increase? The percentage of your sales of online to your total sales?
It's 60%.
60. So half of your business then,
more than
I understand, really is online. It's done through the computer.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
And I think that we'll move to 70-75% now, step by step. Of course, here it's more and more difficult to increase the channel, because it is quite big at the moment.
Yeah.
But we really do believe in it.
Well, first of all, congratulations on your huge sales increase. I think last year you reported sales increase of about 23%. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was 23%, and this year we expect around 32. I think at the moment we have 32%.
And now you're the #1 Russian company. Are you number 2 sales after Adio? I think in Russia.
Yeah,
so
we are number 2 after Adio Group. Yeah, exactly.
That's quite incredible. So let me just tell you a little bit my impression of Petrovich when I went. I've never seen, and I mentioned it earlier, such a dynamic company, and the speed of your deliveries and what you're doing before the pandemic, that you were saying you will have them there at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or whatever, and you were very dynamic. So tell us a little bit more about your concept. What is your unique selling point from your opinion? Why are you so strong? What is the USP?
I will just start saying a few words about our model, about our format, because it is not the standard DIY big box. So as I mentioned, we choose the omni-channel model, and we made the format of our stores also which fit this with this model. So our stores are not only the place to serve customers, as I mentioned, but it is also the logistic hub to dispatch the deliveries of last mile service. Our sales floor has also a very specific format. It is 3,500 square meters. It's not as big as the DIY hypermarkets, and the part of it is the quite standard self-service from the shelves, and the second part, where the heavy goods are represented by samples, because we don't want our customers to, let's say, to tense their bags, and we help them in dealing with these products in our warehouse. And we also have the zone with advanced consulting, where the people sit, and you can just speak to them, and they provide you with the very advanced consulting service. So it's about our format. If you mentioned our unique selling proposition, yes, you're right. We have very fast delivery. We pay just very high attention to have all stock in place. But I really do believe that our unique selling proposition is that we love our clients. And it is the core of our strategy. Everything around it is quite the sequence of this love. I understand that it could be like a slogan, because every company actually says that the client is just everything for us. But believe me, it's like the real love. Our love is absolutely not egoistic. What does it mean? It means that for the sake of this love, we always we put the customer on the first place, not our comfort. We put on the first place, and we study all feedback. Each and every customer feedback is studied by top management, including myself. Each and every, and also the follow-up of this feedback. We permanently change ourselves in order to serve better, to introduce new services, to improve the old ones. We also try to make customer journey more comfortable and easy for our customers. So it's I believe that it is we treat our the love for the customer is to the customer is our key value of the company. So we treat every customer as a friend. So we even in the difficult situation, when there is a question how you should behave, what to do if it is not written in procedures, the employees should answer the very simple question: what do you do if you have a friend in front of you? So, and then behave yourself as if it is a friend. And we
Evgeny,
also,
go on.
Yeah,
Go on.
No,
yeah,
just,
let me just, I mean, this is just simply amazing to hear that coming from you, because to me, that wasn't very, in all respect, very Russian to really look after the consumers. When I first came to Russia, but certainly learned. Is this now the trend in Russia, the passion for the customers, looking after the customers, because it didn't used to be within the old system that you used to have? Is that normal now?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that, of course, in the service, in the in the USSR was quite poor. You're absolutely right. In the 90s, it was quite poor. For our companies, really, we believe that having it's really a passion for us because we want our people to select our people to let's say to grow our people in with this feel of love of to be natural in this, to be natural, but being natural in with this love. So it will be very strong competitive advantage because it is the most difficult to copy. The most difficult to you can copy. You can put assortment range. I mean, you can copy prices. You can copy kind of these certain services, but the attitude, as you cannot buy. I would say, as you cannot buy love. So all of us, we are customers, and of course we feel how we treat it. Yeah, we feel if the employees in the, I don't know, in the stores, in the restaurants, if they just say this the script, what is written in the script, or they are very, let's say, passionate with what they are doing.
Okay, so if I didn't see you, Evgeny, if I didn't see you and hear your accent, I would think I was speaking to an American management guru. The way you're philosophing about it. So congratulations.
It's absolutely, it's the core of our philosophy, of my philosophy, and.
I do remember a global leader who was visiting St. Petersburg, and I told him he should go and visit you. And I'm sure he thought it was an exaggeration. And he came to see you, and he just said back, it's just simply amazing. I've never seen anything like that concept. So anyway, so anybody who's really watching it, this is not just lip service. If you want to really see a very dynamic, modern, brilliant service, then go to St. Petersburg and visit Petrovich. We have a question here from someone on the chat called Frank. He wrote, you spoke about your online business. How did you set this up and run this? Because you're very much advanced. Do you have a dedicated team or work with external companies or third parties? So what brought this online about to begin with that you were so strong?
We should. I should mention that beside this corporate culture that I mentioned, we have the philosophy of operational excellence as well. Because the quick deliveries that you mentioned, it's not because of our drivers could drive quicker than others. It's a lot of small process which are in place. Each thing in our company should have its place, and we have the online store. We have the very kind of sophisticated software ensuring the prioritization of when we collect our orders and so on. And of course, our team is also the key issue. We have our own people. There are 7,000 people working in the company. But for instance, drivers who made the last mile service, they are not our associates. So but again, we train them. We have the software which ensure all the building of routes and how to fill the lorries which provide the service. So,
yeah, would it be a fair assessment, Evgeny, to say we have home improvement companies that have an online business? But we have Petrovich, it's an online business with stationary stores. Could you say that?
Could you repeat it? We have online business.
Yeah, is your main emphasis, your main work on the online and the stationery? Is that the most important part of the business? I said a lot of people have stationery stores, but are now doing 12, 15, 20% online. But you've got such a huge online. Are you an online business with stationery stores? Is it the other way around a little bit?
We'll continue stationery stores. We'll continue because we need to, let's say, we'll continue conquering the country. We have a very big part of the pie still, which is not ours, because basically we are in the two main cities, in Moscow and St. Petersburg, and there are a lot of other cities and regions of the country where we aim to go. And as I mentioned, we have omni-channel model, which gives the person, which is quite especially important in our industry, because people have still the need to touch and feel experience. They need some to go to the stores to get consultancy service, which it's also our focus in the future, just to improve the consultancy and to bring it to the new step. So we believe that stores are also quite an important part of our business. And as well, as I mentioned, they are logistic hubs for online. That's why we'll continue building the new stores in the region, stationary stores, as you said. But our format is there is the sales floor 3,500 meters. We have warehouse 10,000 square meters, and we also have the outdoor construction for different type of construction materials, and the land plot of about 6 hectares. Just it's the standard format for our stores. We are 24 hours open. Yeah.
So you're very dominant in St. Petersburg. What sort of market share do you think you have in St. Petersburg with building materials?
No, in retail, I guess that we definitely have one third of retail, definitely around 35%, I guess. In B2B, we are very close to 50%, I would say, in working with construction companies in construction.
And I know you were first of all focused in St. Petersburg, then you went to Moscow. Are you having the same success in Moscow that you're having in St. Petersburg?
Moscow is still again the very big potential for our growth, because the Moscow market is 3 times or 3.5 times bigger than St. Petersburg. At this year, we have the equal B2B sales. So Moscow sales reached the St. Petersburg B2B sales, while retail operations, they are more conservative, and that's why we have only half of St. Petersburg sales there, which means actually that we have the potential to grow 4, 5, 6 times in Moscow, and we'll also continue opening stationary stores in Moscow in order to increase our penetration and also awareness about us, because Moscow is so big that you have to present everywhere. Our main company have I think more than 25 stores in Moscow region.
Wow!
And we just opened the 6th one.
The 6th, yeah.
The 6th last month.
So again, how many stores have you got altogether, Petrovich, now, today?
20 stores. 20 stores.
20 stores.
Yeah, only 20 stores.
So you've got a lot of the market to go for at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got a lot of potential. We've got a question from Rainer Sternhardt, who is the editor of the DIY International. And I like the question very much. How do you teach your Russian people, I would say, to fall in love with their customers?
You see, we have it is the culture. Every culture starts from the head and goes to the bottom. So our aim is just to speak to our people on their own levels. We try to select people whose values are quite similar to ours. First of all, we spoke about our values. We have the values ambassadors. We try to study each conflict in the company, each, let's say, problem based on the values. So it's the kind of you know, the mainstream for us. We all the time we speak about it, and I can tell you, John, that I see that people change, has been changing every year. And we also can see it in the increase of net promotion score. Yeah, because it was very difficult. We had almost 80, and it was 3 years ago. We introduced our new values 3 years ago. Exactly, it was October 2018 when we start speaking about it.
Well, that's amazing. I must have. Yeah, go on.
We even managed to increase this NPS, Net Promoter Score, actually 84%, and this is and it is more and more difficult because, as you mentioned, the service culture in Russia improved a lot, and if you still continue, the NPS will go down, because NPS is the how the expectation of the customers meet the reality, and the expectations are increasing all the time, because the average level of the industry increases. So, but even in these tough conditions, we managed to increase our NPS, and I believe this is only because our people, many of them, really give their hearts to the customers.
Well, Evgeny, it's fascinating talking to you, because we're only halfway through the questions. We're almost running out of time, but we've got a question from Maxime. I don't know if it's Maxime from Technosystems, who's the owner, or it's Maxime from Baucenter. But anyway, here's the question. At the Global DIY Summit in Dublin, Igor, we all know Igor Coleman, introduced your digital room service, offering customers the chance to vitalize their rooms through TV screens. Wow, you are advanced. Could you go with more detail on this? Is it popular with your customers? These digital rooms, now the part of the new service which we introduce in our stores, it's the design service. So this design service, to those customers to come to the store, we help them to make design of their flats, of their houses. So it's now the part of this kind of design service. We also develop design in online. We have new services there, and we also have design in the stores. Again, omni-channel model works, I would say, in place. Okay, we've got another question, so try to give a shortish answer, because I've got a couple more questions I do want to ask you before we finish. And this is from Eric Moran, Gaborian Director, Retail DIY Channel Program at Schneider Electric. Do your customers start, this is a very good question too, do your customers start to ask for sustainable products? Is that an issue in Russia, sustainable products that people want? Yes, I think that the demand for this kind of product has appeared, and it's become more and more strong, I would say. Okay, what are you doing for the climate change in your company? Are you reducing your carbon footprint? Is this an issue in Russia? I think that here we are also one of the pioneers, because our mission actually is that we build life.
We build life for our employees, for our customers, for our country. And we several years ago, we understood, so if we build life, we should be ecologically friendly as well. And we made different steps. We made the complete audit of all our buildings, including the old ones, for the heat leakage. And we improved the walls and the roofing and so on to just to avoid the heat leakage. We also started the separate garbage utilization. So we made, I would say, a lot of steps in recuperation of in the new stores. We made recuperation of heat in the ventilation system. So as I said, so
it's very, very nice to know. So the final question, we're having a big shortage of gas here. Are you shortage of gas as well in Russia, or have you got enough?
Oh, thank God we have gas, but we have gas. But continuing probably your questions about ecology, I would like to add that we also work for a kind of community around us, because again, this is around our values that I mentioned. This is around our mission. And we had the annual conference of Petrovich in February this year. Its title was DIY Life. And the idea, it's the game of words. Of course, we are doing DIY, but the idea is do it yourself. Because the idea is, if you want to improve life around yourself, just start with yourself. And we support our employees in improving neighborhood around them. If they have certain initiative to improve the yards, the children playgrounds, we support them and help them. So we believe that starting improve life of our employees, life of the neighborhood around them. We will start improving the life in the whole country. It's the kind of our philosophy, the core of our philosophy. We support orphan houses as well, and we make master classes for them in order to adopt them for the adult life, and we invite them also to work in our company. For instance, just it's probably what we are doing for society.
Okay, well, it's very, very encouraging to hear that you're looking after your employees, you're looking after society, your sustainability is also on your radar as far as being the CEO of this company. So we're coming to a little bit to an end. We could have chatted for a lot longer, but you've been a member of our organization now for a long time. So what advantages has it brought, or how do you feel about being a member of this network that we have with all the home improvement companies from around the world?
John, for me, it was absolutely the unique possibility just to get acquainted with the number of different experiences all about the world. And when I became CEO here, I remember actually probably on the third month I was working as a CEO in Petrovich, we made a trip around Europe, which you very kindly organized for us, and it was really let's say expanding my horizons, and which gave a lot of different thoughts and ideas. Very often they are not directly connected with what you see, but when you enrich yourself with experience of different companies, it's kind of boost of kind of idea generation in your head, and that's really great. And of course, thanks a lot of that you always promote our company very sincerely. You do it, let's say, as a kind of innovative company and service-oriented company. We also appreciate it a lot, and thank you very much for it.
Very nice to see a very successful company operating with passion and dedication as you do. So my final question to you is coming up now. You work for the European company as the director, as the commercial director in Russia. What can Russia learn from Europe, and what do you think that Europe can learn from Russia?
John, I think that generally speaking, we have to be more socially responsible. First of all, let's say to start with to wear masks. You know, when I was in Europe and in other countries, people wear masks, and it's a kind of because people understand what does it mean. They feel themselves responsible. Here, unfortunately, in the in our country, if you come, you see everyone, you know, with open mouths and noses. I think that's still a very big problem, to be socially responsible, to be a real citizen of your country, and also, for instance, to buy domestic, to travel domestic, because people should understand that they make their own lives better if they buy domestic and travel domestic. Because I absolutely European people and American people and many other countries, people understand it and do it with the kind of understanding. What Europe should learn for Russia, John, you know, today we mentioned service, and in terms of service, Russia was very, let's say, behind all over the world. But I do believe that today the Russia leapfrog Europe, at least, I would say, because I heard a lot of stories from my friends who are living in Europe, and when they say about kind of attitude in different kind of stores during different kind of orders of furniture, of, I don't know, TV master or whatever else, it's really awful, I would say. It's really awful. So I think that today you should probably learn at least the best examples here in Russia in terms of service samples. And also, I would say the digital breakthrough. We have very advanced companies, banking, retail, in terms of penetration of digitalization and penetration of the digital transformation.
Yeah, well, I think on a final note, I never thought that I would ever hear a Russian gentleman saying that you've leapfrogged the service. I think listening to your talk and what you're doing and seeing your success, and above all, seeing your store, I think you have proved that point very, very well. I would only recommend to anybody here, if they want to see one of the most beautiful cities in the world, go to St. Petersburg. If you want to see one of the best retail concepts of building materials with online business, then go and visit Evgeny. I'm sure you might get an invasion coming to Russia to see your concept.
Thank you very much, John.
So, Evgeny, there's a lot of things I'd like to have asked you about, but time has run out. It's been a huge pleasure speaking to you today. We're very proud that we have got 3 Russian members within our 217 members, all very, very active, all dedicated, all learning, all sharing. And so thank you for sharing your experience today with all the people watching this. And it's been for me very, very good. I think, oh, we've got a question. Yeah, no, I think we're coming to the end. So thank you very much, Evgeny. I would just like to remind all people that my next interview is on the 17th of November with Paul Condon, who is the CEO of the United Hardware in Ireland. So this is me, John Herbert, from our offices in Cologne, saying goodbye to Evgeny and Movchan in the deepest part of Russia and Lake Uganda. I've said that wrong, haven't I? But anyway, it's a beautiful lake nearby. So thank you very much for watching, Evgeny. I look forward to seeing you, and we'll be seeing ourselves latest at the Global DIY Summit in Copenhagen next year. So thank you very much for joining us.